Good afternoon. I'm Matthew Sanders, and along with Christopher Key and Caleb Patterson, we present The Sowing Seed for Dr. Khan's Shark Tank presentation. Agriculture has been a key element of our society and our world for thousands of years. As early as 10,000 BC, crops like barley and wheat were being farmed and collected. Fast forward to the 1840s and the start of the Industrial Agriculture Revolution. Crops were being farmed and grown at an exponential rate. Today, countries are making billions of dollars by selling and exporting agricultural goods. However, despite the enormous amount of money that can come from growing and exporting agriculture, there's one major problem that most farmers face when trying to enter into this space, and that's the amount of money needed to become a successful farmer. Farming tools, seeds, lands, hired labor, all of that can cost farmers up to millions of dollars. This is where our product comes into play. Our product is the sowing seed. It's a type of broadcast seeder that not only spreads seeds, but also water. And it comes in two different sizes, grande and pequeño. There are a multitude of advantages when it comes to using broadcast seeders. Like I explained before, becoming a farmer can be very expensive when it comes to buying things like your farming tools. However, broadcast seeders are some of the least expensive options when compared to things like tractors that can cost anywhere between $50,000 to $150,000. Another advantage for broadcast seeders is that it requires a minimal amount of labor and time. Broadcast seeders also allow large areas to be sown, and difficult areas that might not be able to get reached before can now be reached with broadcast seeders. Who do broadcast seeders benefit? Broadcast seeders benefit two main groups. That would be industrial farmers, which are large-scale farmers who usually do intensive production of crops and animals, and local and small farmers, which are the smaller scale farmers who have less intensive production, usually producing goods for just themselves. Broadcast seeder market. Right now, the broadcast seeder market is dominated by five main companies who produce more than 90% of the farming equipment in Brazil. Broadcast seeders, like other farming equipment, aren't sold in large amounts. Only about 2,000 to 3,000 farming equipment tools and heavy machinery are sold to farmers each year. With all that being said, why do we choose Brazil as our country to sell our product in? Well, first, Brazil domestically manufactures close to 90% of its agricultural machinery, and that's due to some of the large amounts of natural resources that they have. Second, the agricultural land in Brazil covers about 31% of the total land that's available. 65% of that agricultural land is only occupied by smaller farmers. Another reason is that Brazil farmers have witnessed an increase in soybean production of up to 10%. And lastly, the last two reasons why we chose Brazil have to do with their exporting. Their total exports in 2019 alone was $230 billion. And they also have great exporting relationships with China, which got them $63.5 billion, United States, which got them $30.5 billion, and Japan, which got them $5.58 billion. Like I stated before, Brazil domestically manufactures 90% of its agricultural machinery, and this is mainly due to its abundance of a variety of natural resources, one of those being tin, which is ranked 6th in the world, iron ore, which is ranked 2nd, phosphate, which is ranked 18th. And because of Brazil having so much natural resources, and due to the fact that Brazil domestically manufactures 90% of its agricultural machinery, that gives us an option in Brazil the ability to manufacture and produce our products. The agricultural land in Brazil is another key reason why we chose this country to sell and produce our product. Like I said, 31% of the total land that's available in Brazil is used for agricultural and farming, which means there's already a large amount of farmers and an already established market there to sell our products to. And of that 31% of the land, 65% is used by smaller farmers. Smaller farmers are great because they support competitive brands like ourselves, and smaller products because they're cheaper and they give them an alternative to things like John Deere, which are very expensive. The exporting market in Brazil is huge. The total exports in 2019 alone reached $230 billion. Brazilian farmers witnessed an increase in soybean production of about 10%, which is a significant number when you think about it because Brazil's top export right now is soybeans, which gets them about $26.1 billion a year. As you can see in the chart down below, Brazil in 2018 produced 117.9 million tons of soybeans. Brazil also exports to countries like China, the United States, Argentina, Netherlands, and Japan. These are all major countries that are oftentimes looking for agricultural goods like soybeans, sugar cane, and other agricultural goods that Brazil produces. To conclude, Brazil is steadily increasing on their exporting, and with the help of our sowing seed, they would be able to increase workloads, the amount of goods exported, and increase production, while also giving local farmers and big time industrial farmers a cheaper alternative than the big name producers that they buy from now. Thank you for listening to our presentation.